Hello everyone. Thank you for clicking on this video and taking the time to watch it. At this point in the story, there's a lot to consider, and here are my ideas of where the story is going. Here are the top 3 possibilities for Amphoreus's third and unknown path based on the lore. Number 1 is Enigmata. This path is known to have ties to both erudition and remembrance. It would be the obvious candidate, since mythos and enigmata, opposing objective truth, actively work to erase history and obscure knowledge that would explain all the unknowns and uncertainties regarding the past of Amphoreus and its citizens that require Mem's power to rectify. As the remembrance operates with the purpose of preserving memories as factually and intact as possible, widespread, substantial damage perpetrated by enigmata would most definitely necessitate the presence of an emanator of remembrance. It makes perfect sense for the third path to be a mystery if said path is the one that creates mystery. Second is nihility. In the portentous gold woven, Sanctum of Prophecy readable, there is a highlighted portion that says the non-existent number 9. This Roman numeral is also the spelling for the name of the aeon presiding over the path of nihility. Nihility is defined as non-existence. With this clue being both so on the nose yet subtle, it is hard to ignore. The black tide may very well be related to nihility in conjunction with a stellaron. The final possibility is finality. The main plot of Amphoreus centers around a prophecy. Since Terminus provides prophecies, with Elio being an emanator of finality, this path could be the third path of Amphoreus, with the priests of Janus being pathstriders by default. The concept of a world's end being the beginning of the world reborn is closely related to finality. To further support these theories about the third path, here is some evidence that, while less concrete, is still noteworthy nonetheless. This is how the future story may have been hinted at while we were still in Penacony. With the introduction of Gallagher into the lore, and us generally uncovering the mysteries regarding the ambiguity of Penacony's history, these subplots could be considered a good setup for the enigmata playing a larger role post-Penacony. Additionally, our trip to Amphoreus, directly after Penacony, is thanks to Black Swan, who is a pathstrider of remembrance. Nihility playing a larger role in the story could have been foreshadowed by this. Acheron is introduced as a Galaxy Ranger, only for us to later find out that she's an emanator of nihility. It had been thought to be impossible for nihility to have emanators. An unnamed Galaxy Ranger had stated, "Device IX is real. Go find it. There lies all of Dr. Primitive's secrets." Following the Xianzhou intermission, Dr. Primitive is the next antagonist we face off against upon returning to Penacony. All this seems like it's a build-up that's pointing towards Device IX becoming an important part of the story. They are a faction of nihility, and may be the ones utilizing a stellaron on Amphoreus, with the Flame Reaver having been a member as well. A mysterious group and a mysterious world might as well go hand in hand. Having us interact with Device IX during this arc would ultimately prepare us to stop Dr. Primitive for good once this Amphoreus storyline concludes. Our first interaction with Pathstriders of Finality outside of the Stellaron Hunters is Elegy of Creed Exequi, who we go to when participating in Apocalyptic Shadow. What is Amphoreus facing? The Apocalypse. This is how future story content may have been hinted at thus far in Amphoreus. As Mem's voice and personality is nearly identical to March's, and so far March has been unconscious the whole time Mem has been around, as far as we can tell, Mem may be a manifestation of March's consciousness. Also, since Black Swan was supposed to be watching over March, and is now apparently absent, chances are that Black Swan found memories of Amphoreus inside of March's mind, and has since traveled to Amphoreus through those memories, and will eventually cross paths with us. As for the rumors of Dawn Hung getting another path, he's primed to become a pathstrider of remembrance as well, physical element, I'd wager. As he's in charge of the databank and constantly learning and recording, he might have caught the attention of the Garden of Recollection, or at the very least, Black Swan. I don't see him getting any other path/element if he does get another. Maybe he becomes an emanator of erudition, which would tie into the Herta subplot at first, but I highly doubt that and think the remembrance theory is more plausible. Our fights against the Titans, i.e. Nikador, may canonically be considered to be preparation for fighting Nunuk in the future. Our assistance of the Chrysos heirs in fighting the Titans may lead them to reciprocate and aid in fighting Nunuk, similar to our assistance of the Xianzhou Luofu. Trailblazer may end up fulfilling the prophecy as the lone person to survive to the end, and then we'll have to use the powers of remembrance to restore everyone back to existence. While I've thought this theory sounds good at first, it is problematic. As far as I understand the concept of remembrance, the powers only work strictly to use memories to emulate the past, and the ability to fully generate matter that exists in reality is beyond their scope. I had decided to not include this theory, but changed my mind. Even though I think that this theory is really not worth considering, I figured I'd go ahead and include it anyway in case it becomes more plausible later down the line. Regardless of whether or not finality is the third path of Amphoreus and ultimately responsible for the prophecy, there could yet be an extremely tiny chance that Elio is revealed to be a refugee and or fugitive from Amphoreus, a prior priest of Janus. Whether or not he is, the Trailblazer remembering their time with the Stellaron hunters as they capture Fuli's gaze is probably not a coincidence. There is a strong possibility that the Stellaron hunters will play a key role in the main story following Amphoreus, and I believe this is how. As the Astral Express crew is preparing to leave Amphoreus, it is revealed that the Trailblazer is irrefutably required for Elio's latest script as Kafka abducts us in the presence of our companions. The Trailblazer will then learn more about their past and the Stellaron hunters while aiding them. Meanwhile, the Astral Express crew investigates where the Stellaron hunters have taken the Trailblazer and what they are up to, with the help of Skrullum and maybe another character or two. Since the Stellaron hunters have had relatively minor roles in our journey thus far, little screen time compared to everyone else, this would make for the best opportunity to finally, truly, put them in the spotlight. The other possibility for the next main story arc is that with the Trailblazer now being an emanator of remembrance, they are able to discern a clue as to where Akavili ended up. That location will serve as the next destination. However, I believe that the Stellaron Hunter theory is more likely to be true than the Dr. Primitive idea as well. For those of you who stuck through to the end, I sincerely thank you for your interest. Please like and share to get these theories out there, and comment your thoughts on them. I am eager to see what, if anything, turns out to be true. For now, we'll have to wait and see if anything in the next few updates supports or debunks these theories.